Gods of the Deep is a brand new 2024 film directed by Charlie Steeds, and this had its premiere at the HP Lovecraft Film Festival, which apparently is an actual thing, this past December. So, I mean, technically it's a 2023 film, but lately I've been confused what to consider 2023, 2024, being a lot of films that are being released early 2024 are actually 2023 films because of limited festival releases and stuff like that. I'm still trying to figure all that shit out, but for all intents and purposes, this is a 2024 film. It was released like just a couple days ago or something like that. It's a February release since the festival, obviously. And basically, this is a UK production, and what we have going on here is we have this group of university scientists along with a couple students that are given an expedition to go to a recently discovered deepest part of the ocean. So this is a place that's deeper than the Marianas Trench, and it has never been seen before. And they take a submarine there, basically, to go exploring, and they discover dangerous creatures, dangerous things, and pretty much alien things underneath the ocean. And horror ensues, basically. I discovered the trailer for this on YouTube maybe last week. Definitely wasn't more than that. And I watched the trailer and it looked fantastic. It looked like a B movie. It definitely looked like a glorified asylum movie, a glorified sci-fi movie, something you would see on the Sci-Fi Channel, but certainly much better done the way it was looking. And it had that like abyss feel. It had that underwater feel. The movie with Kristen Stewart in it from a couple years ago, and it felt like a good monster horror movie, and I was excited for it. And this one really impressed me. Now, this film has a 3.3 on IMDb, and for the most part, it's getting trashed quite heavily. I really don't get that. I mean, this film for a horror movie deals only with practical effects. Massive points with me right there. Practical effect use is always a plus in my books. It also doesn't overstay its welcome at all. This movie is an hour and 18 minutes and even less than that with the credits. So it's in and out real quick. Obviously, you can tell that they had a limited budget and you can see the budget restraints while you're watching the film, but what they were able to pull off with the budget that they had and what they were able to create with this film and this experience, I thought was awesome. I had a really good time with this. I definitely think people are being way too hard on this film. I think 3.2 is way too low for it. I mean, you get some hokey acting here, obviously, and like I said, when you're watching this film, it certainly feels like something you would see in a sci-fi or an asylum production, except without all the terrible CGI that you always get in those films. I mean, there's even a fire sequence in this film that I was saying, okay, they're probably going to make that CGI, but no, it actually looked like real fire, so I'm pretty sure they even used actual fire, which even that is hard for certain films to use and stay away from CGI and stuff like that. It's just a lot of fun. It's a low budget movie. It's a B film, but it has a lot of heart. Like this film is packed with heart. And if you're even a remotely Lovecraftian fan, I mean, this is not one to miss. I mean, your main creature is basically this Cthulhu looking thing, and you got like the tentacle worm creatures all over the place. It's pure Lovecraftian stuff. The characters are cool. Your lead is this guy named Jim who attends the university, and he's basically like your stereotypical hero of the film. When I watched the trailer and when I watched the film, he has a lot of resemblance to Daniel Radcliffe. I actually, when I watched the trailer at first, I thought it was Daniel Radcliffe in this film, but it's not. We'll just call him a poor man's Daniel Radcliffe, I guess. And then you get one of the villains who completely eats the scenery every time he's on screen. This guy named Pikmin. I swear, this guy is like every villain you see in fantasy movies. Like he's got long gray hair, he's got this big gray beard. He holds a staff, for God's sakes. And he's just this like thin and menacing character. And I swear, if you gave this guy just a little bit more prosthetic hair around the face, he could pull off a Planet of the Apes role, no problem. And I mean that with total respect too. He could definitely pull it off. But yeah, all the characters give it their all. This film doesn't drag at all. It's brilliantly paced. Because a lot of films that, have a low budget to work with, sometimes they just extend way too long with basically just B-roll and reasons to keep going and going to extend the runtime, which is painfully obvious for a lot of movies like that. This one doesn't do that. This one just really plays with its themes, and it's great. It's action packed. The creature design I really liked. Again, you're dealing with a low budget, and you can tell that they only did what they can. But you get some cult classic films from the 70s and 80s like Forbidden World and Galaxy of Terror and Life Force. And if you watch those films, I mean, the production budget on those are pretty low too. Like, you can tell that the sets definitely didn't have millions of dollars behind them. And even in some of those movies, I'm pretty sure they used like egg cartons to make the walls look like spaceship ish. You get a lot of that in here too. You get a lot of sequences where it's clear that the production crew and the filming took place in like one location, and they definitely used the same locations to kind of film everything, and you can tell that they tried to minimalize their filming to smaller locations. You can see it throughout the film, but it just works, and they did a really great job, in my opinion, having it work. And I thought this film was a blast, so I give it a positive. Most people are giving it negative, but I think this film does merit a little bit of cult status, and I hope it gets a lot more attention because, like I said, I think it's definitely worth it. Love the practical effects. That's probably my biggest positive for it. And it's fun, so I liked it, and this film needs a lot more love. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel already. Stay tuned for what's coming. Until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.